Yo.
What?
What's wrong with you?
I'm a little disappointed.
Why? Didn't you go and see Lone Ranger?
Didn't you watch the review?
No, I didn't get a chance yet.
Alright, so, yes, I saw the Lone Ranger. And we did the review, and this is how it went. Hey everybody, this is Joe, Keith, and Adam, and this is our review of the Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger, indeed.
There's so many things to say, and I think we have to keep it under 10 minutes. This is going to be interesting.
Can we keep it under 10 minutes?
I don't know, it's the Lone Ranger. They couldn't keep it under an hour and a half.
Shit,
so,
no.
we're not even going to waste your time. Here's how it goes. My score is a 5. Keith, what's your score?
6.
5.5.
Alright, we just saved you a bunch of time. Those are our ratings. Now, the rest of this is just going to be us complaining and bitching about what went wrong in this movie. Or, as I like to phrase it, what didn't go right.
Damn! Y'all just gonna let it out in the beginning? They even let people get in the video and just started telling what the hell the rating is already?
Well, we figured that we didn't want to waste people's time. The movie was kind of a waste of time. It had all these long, boring parts to it. My score started off at a 7, and I think as the movie went longer, the score got lower.
Yeah.
Like, it just kept going longer and longer and longer.
It was a really dull roller coaster because like it would go up, it started going up, oh we're gonna go back down, oh we're gonna go back down, oh we're gonna go back down.
It wasn't even that.
It was a kiddie roller coaster.
Yeah,
It was like,
it was the little kitty. You know the little kitty roller coasters with the little dragon.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
About the scene transitions to where it's like, hey, we gotta go over here. It's like, hey, they're in a fucking desert. We need to pinpoint that out. They're in a fucking desert. They reached the location.
well, this is what happens when Jerry Bruckheimer doesn't have the waves of the ocean in order to show off the vast expanse of nothingness that is wasted film. But here's the thing that bothers me. They came up with the most bullshit explainer for how they can do the things they do in the movie, which is Tonto's telling the story.
So Tatanka tells the story?
Not Tatanka, Tonto. His name is Tonto, and yes, he tells the whole story from, like, some point in the future.
Oh.
I think I had a little bit more fun watching the movie than you guys did.
He liked it.
Well, he didn't, like it. Like, he wouldn't take it to the prom, but, like, he kind of liked it. Like, maybe if it asked him to homecoming, he'd be interested.
Gretchen, I was laughing a little bit more at the start. When he said laughing, I was giggling at most of the stuff. And I really enjoyed the William Tell Overture. Our ending was about as silly and fun that you can get out of the movie.
I never thought I would say this, but Wild Wild West was a better Western than The Lone Ranger.
Won't you say the Wild Wild West?
Yeah, the movie with Will Smith and the rapping. It's a better movie than The Lone Ranger.
Wow.
This has become like a summer of disappointments. Like, everything that I want in a movie, I can't seem to get. I want Clark Kent and my Superman movie. I want the Lone Ranger to be a badass with a gun who brings law to the untamed West. I don't want a pussy lawyer who doesn't want to hold a gun and doesn't know how to use it. That's Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman fucking with a gun in the West.
Hold on.
And Tonto is Sully and they fuck in the teepee.
In the TP. Really, Joe? Really?
I mean, I'm just saying that's kind of the way it went. Sully and Dr. Quinn, TP, Tonto, Johnny Depp, I don't know.
Hold on a second. I have to admit that I actually watched some Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Well,
And to be fair,
Who didn't?
she actually was really good with a gun.
Well, for your superhero movie now, or whatever movie that tells like a story of a character build up, your hero is not until like the end of the movie. That's where everybody's going nowadays.
I would have settled for a Cherokee kid with Sinbad type situation
Montage.
where over the course of the movie, he learns how to use a gun, and then at the end, he's a badass with it.
I thought this was El Dorado 6 we were watching.
So, the Spirit Horse started off as kind of funny. I was like, cool,
Maximus?
it's Mr. Ed, but he doesn't talk. He's got kind of a bad attitude. And he starts off as just this quiet horse who nudges and does sarcastic shit. But then, this motherfucker starts teleporting on top of houses and flipping shit over and doing, like, impossible things that shouldn't be done. Racism gets tackled heavily. With Chinamen and Indians.
But they never actually hit that point of being racist. The reason Wild Wild West was so good was because they were like, fuck it, we're being racist.
Okay, Wild Wild West, we'll use that as your example. That movie was racist, but it acknowledged it was being racist.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. It just went further.
But here's what's worse than that: being racist and never acknowledging that your racism is wrong. Never once in the Lone Ranger do they go back and say, oh, maybe this is the wrong thing for us to do. Those white people never feel remorse.
I don't know, except for that one guy.
General Custard.
Yeah,
whatever
General
the fuck it
Custard.
is.
At one point, he kind of showed like, oh damn, I actually fucked. The Lone Ranger's telling him like, these guys are the bad guys, and he's starting to think like, well, damn, I am killing a whole bunch of people, but for what? So he's like, well, actually, the people I'm working for work for the train company. So who the fuck are you? And then he just turns on.
And then he just goes about doing the wrong thing for the wrong reason. And it's like, okay, cool.
What I've been
He's
doing
not
is
even
bad.
getting paid!
Not even getting paid?
No, he wasn't even getting paid. No real reason or motives for this guy to betray everything and then continue with the slaughter of innocents.
Man, hell no.
And I like that. This is one thing I do like. They differentiated themselves from Zorro by making it silver instead of gold.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a completely different plotline. The Lone Ranger,
Yeah.
the Lone Ranger doesn't fight anybody. He fights people, but he doesn't kill anybody because killing's bad. Tonto is fighting one of the bad guys, and the Lone Ranger is fighting another of the bad guys. And at the end, it comes down to, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. And that is how all three of the bad guys die in that fashion of,
And not
I'm
even
getting the
not, hold
fuck
on.
out of here and I'm letting
Not
you
even
die.
kidding.
Yeah.
The Lone Ranger's standing there watching him. He's like, "What now? You're gonna kill me?" It's like, "No, I'm not going to." And the train's about to fly off a cliff. So what does he do? Out of nowhere, which he didn't have any other time in the movie. Well, sorry, he had it just shortly earlier. Pulls out a whip and goes whoosh, and just stands there and flies off. Basically,
Yeah.
he pulled the fucking.
He pulled
Batman.
a fucking Batman.
Would you like to know the one thing that really bothered me throughout?
Was
the
it the
entire
drunk
movie?
person leading them into the canyon? Was it the fact that that homestead only had one slave working for them and he managed to get his hands on a gun? Was it the fact that one of the bad guys was a cross-dresser who liked delicate things just like
That
the
shit was
small
fucking weird.
sidekick
There's
pirate
nothing wrong with
character
cross-dressing. This
in Pirates of the
motherfucker is
Caribbean?
creepy.
Cross-dresser.
Yeah, the guy who wore skirts.
But what does it have Keith so upset?
What upset Keith was,
Why did you show the film starting off in the early 1900s to tell a story back in the 1800s when that premise of telling the story had nothing to do with the entire movie?
it was just their way of explaining how they could do all this random shit. Like infinite bullet streams where they didn't have to reload.
Stupid.
Or a Gatling gun where there are no bullets going into the gun, but bullets are coming out of the gun.
Hold on. You could have just acknowledged the fact that it was a Lone Ranger movie that was just a little ridiculous and over the top, and guess what? It would have probably done 10 times better.
Let's talk about this bird on Johnny Depp's head. He keeps feeding it, which
Peanuts.
originally kind of made sense,
wasn't
corn.
and
It
then
was
didn't make
corn.
sense,
Corn,
and
yeah.
then did make sense. He does this stupid like pack rat trading thing, where like every 2 minutes he's on the film
He's
like
trading.
stealing something.
A bird.
Yeah, on his head.
A bird.
A bird, a dead bird.
And he kept feeding it.
He kept trying to feed it. It was like this weird motion like this. It's weird because now whenever Johnny Depp's in a movie, he's got a bird somewhere on his face. Whether it's in his beard or in his hair, he's got one. Why was he giving them a Christian burial?
That is mighty white of him.
But why was he giving a Christian burial?
I don't know. Me and Adam Keith discussed it, and we can't figure out for the life of us why he was burying them in the Christian style. Let's talk about some rabbits. The biggest waste of a
The
CG
rabbits.
budget ever. They're these fucking meat-eating rabbits.
These sons of bitches.
Cannibals.
Cannibals. There we go. Sorry. These rabbits, literally, they take a piece of rabbit that they were cooking, throw it at the rabbits, and they start fucking mauling each
When
other.
they first show up, you're like, oh wow, they're like adorable and cute.
And there's a
Why
shitload of
Why are
them.
they starting to gather around the camp? What the fuck? And yeah, like he says, they just throw a piece of meat, and all of a sudden you got these massive fucking fangs, and they just go all ape shit.
Yeah,
I was
and then
waiting
you
for a
see-
holy hand
you
grenade to
watch
come
it,
out.
You
Speaking of other unnecessary CG creatures, let's talk about scorpions. There weren't giant mechanical spiders in the
No.
movie unless you count
We
the
didn't
stupid
get that.
CG scorpions that serve no purpose other than they're there. Wait, other problems. I just time out real quick.
The reenactment of The Last Samurai.
Last of the Mohicans, man.
No, fucking Last Samurai. They were running down the hill.
Olympus has fallen.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Let's just send a
Olympus has
wave.
fallen.
Let's just send a
CA,
wave of
yeah.
people that are attacking, and then we're just
Okay,
gonna mow them
so let's
down.
get this straight.
And then
The
that's it.
hunters, these Native
That's
American
it.
hunters who are quite badass. They have bows and arrows. They're like
I was actually
mowing down.
expecting something.
They are mowing down fucking cavalrymen. They're like, yeah, rain of arrows, bam, 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 bam. Oh shit, they got me. Suddenly, the cavalry rips out a gun,
Gatling.
a Gatling gun, and you know it can only really shoot like in that 180 spread. So you think like, oh, cool. The Native Americans are probably going to circle around or continue to rain fire with bows and arrows. No, fuck that. Their strategy is to do a Gettysburg-style charge into battle. After they start getting shot down, they just keep going. Like, until the entire tribe is dead, basically. And speaking of an entire tribe being dead, the two villains betray Johnny Depp's character in the beginning and kill his entire tribe. In the story that Tonto tells, it's just two of them. And I'm not entirely sure how two white guys with two 6-shooters took out an entire village of people.
Well,
that's at least
that.
12.
I mean, what they did was they got the location of where the silver and stuff was, and I'm pretty sure they remembered the location of the tribe, so they could easily went back and got a couple of their friends.
There's only one problem with that.
Because they never really specified a time gap on like...
So Tonto shows these two white men where the silver mine is, right? Yeah. They get the silver, and then they leave. When Tonto returns to his village from being there, that's when his village is gone.
Kemosabe, that's another thing.
That word was
in the original show, it means faithful friend.
Either faithful friend or trusted partner or something.
Or something with scouting.
But in this movie...
You know what it doesn't mean? It doesn't mean wrong brother. Because Tonto really wanted the spirit horse to resurrect his brother. So here's the deal. If you could edit the movie down, that's the story.
You can do about 45 minutes worth of the movie. It'd be like an hour-long episode or something. Yeah. It works perfectly.
Yeah. But like, they spread it out
trim a lot of fat out of that shit.
It stopped being fun somewhere in the middle. Like, once I came to the conclusion that the Lone Ranger had the same powers as Owen Wilson in Shanghai Noon, where like, as long as he's fighting for good...
He's a crack shot.
Wait,
he's a crack shot, and he can't get shot.
Yeah.
He has one crack shot in the entire movie, and it's done by luck.
Yep.
Because he claims himself as the Spirit Walker finally. And then, like, in the last 5 minutes, he's kind of the Lone Ranger-ish. Let's talk about the final fight scene real quick.
They were landing on
Tonto...
pointed silver and jagged pointed...
He just stands on the top, on the train, and then dives down back first, lands on the silver. It's a metal. It's not like malleable, it's not like soft. No, it's fucking piled, and it's like jagged edges. Lands on it,
full of silver.
Gets up, and walks it off in Jack Sparrow fashion, where he's got kind of a wobble to it.
Oh no, it's like also in that scene, I guess you could call it shoot off, with one of the villains, and he's throwing rocks at him. And so the guy's like dodging. He throws a rock and hits
Cole. It's Cole.
Or Cole or whatever. Cole. So where the fuck he was throwing, and he hits the woman in the head, and you clearly see like this fucking bruise right there, and she gets knocked out. Like a few minutes later, she's back up like
technically,
and no bruise. It's like
Cole.
Okay,
so it wouldn't be bruised; it'd just be black. But yes, I did see that.
He threw it pretty fucking hard.
Closing arguments.
So many rocks were thrown in that fucking movie.
Honestly, if it was to come on television and there was nothing else to watch, I'd watch it. Other than that, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it.
Could you do something to distract yourself for 2 hours and 29 minutes and not be too upset when you come back to just watch the ending credits and hear the William Richard?
Yes, I could do that. I could distract myself for 2 hours and watch the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Like, what about the bitch slapping in this movie?
I mean, that's like a drinking game.
There was like so much bitch slapping. Even the little kid got a bitch slap. It's like, hey, you feel left out?
Yeah, but he kind of deserved it.
He did.
That little bitch.
He did.
He is a little bitch.
Totally.
Final thoughts, Adam. What do you think?
I'm still giving it 5.5. You could probably fall asleep in the middle of the movie and wake back up and still know what the fuck's going on. I almost did too.
My final thoughts. Let's see. It's a 5. It might even be a 4.5. Like, I just
keeps dropping.
Really, the more I think about it, like, the worse it gets. In the words of Tonto, your money for a ticket is a bad trade.
Bad trade.
Bad trade.
Survival Goes West is a better one.
There you go.
You shut the hell up.
That is a western to
Survival Goes West is a better fucking western.
He said it was a better.
No, I'm agreeing. I'm saying that's an amazing movie.
A better fucking western than Lone Ranger.
We killed our cameraman again. But anyways,
this is Joe, Adam, and Keith, and that was our review of the Lone Ranger.
Make sure you catch our next video, which will be our preview review for Pacific Rim.
And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.
Hey, if you're gonna do something funny, film it.
Ooh, fancy. Y'all got call outs and shit now at the end?
Oh, God.
I mean, I'll do it if you don't want to do it.
I'm like...
Woosah, woosah.